What's up, guys? We are back with another Super 7 Simpsons Ultimates review, taking a look at the only, well, normal is probably not the best way to describe any character, but only normal character in this wave. We've got Poochie of all things, and then we've got, variations on characters throughout this wave. But we get one regular figure, one regular character with MOE SZYSLAK here, and he happens to be, well, at least as far as the box goes, the heaviest. There is a lot of stuff in here. Now, he comes in the same kind of packaging as the rest, so you've got that cloud motif slipcover, Simpsons logo on the front, and you got a shot of MOE there. On the back, pop that slipcover off, and you have everyone's favorite bartender with his a million accessories, more of that cloud motif, and then the back of the box gives us a very normal looking MOE expression as well as info on his first appearance. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, everyone's favorite curmudgeonly bar owner, MOE SZYSLAK in the Ultimates. This is a pretty basic figure by all comparisons to everything else in this wave. We've got an astronaut Homer, we've got robots, we've got a cartoon dog. This is the only real character that we're getting in wave 1, which, again, weird assortment, but I'm still happy with it. So let's see what this guy can do, see how he moves around. He probably moves about exactly as you think. We've got a head that is on a ball peg, but his head and neck are one piece because MOE has like a hunch, basically. So he goes up and down a little bit of tilt side to side. You've got full rotation, but because of how he sort of lurches forward, that rotation can look weird depending on how far you go with it. Arms out at the shoulders. You've got rotation here, but it's not full rotation without like stressing it. Like it's because of how the arms are oriented. Like it's really, really weird to actually move that arm all the way around. It's kind of odd. We've got a single jointed elbow, of course, and that's where your swivel is. I kind of figured there'd be a bicep swivel here because he has that cut at the sleeve, but there isn't anything there. Hinges, rotation at the wrist. We're back to figures that don't have actual diaphragm cuts that do a whole lot. This is just a swivel. You've got a waist twist down here also. He's a bartender. I'm not sure it really matters that he needs to be super dynamic, but I'd still love to be able to crunch him forward. That just doesn't really do anything. Legs out all the way, so you can do some splits if you need to. Kick forward that far, backwards a little bit. We do have our single jointed knees. They do not give you 90 though. There's rotation there. You've got hinges and rotation at the ankles. There's no rocker here, which I find really weird. I feel like there could be, but there isn't. So he's articulated okay. Like there's nothing too crazy. I don't feel like I'm missing a whole lot with him, but we are back to figures that have cuts that don't do everything that you expect them to do. I really thought that diaphragm torso cut was going to do a little bit more because he could use a crunch for sure. It just doesn't really go anywhere. Now, visually, MOE is definitely, well, there's really no easier way to say it. He's just the most basic figure in this wave. He's a standard, well, Simpsons human, so you don't get any crazy costumes, you don't get any wacky colors. He's a pretty normal looking guy outside of this, well, ridiculous head that he has. So he is exactly what you think he is, basically. He's got a blue shirt on, he's got some brownish gray pants, and he's got yellow skin. What I really like about him, though, is the proportions and just how close he looks to the animation. This is a really solid looking MOE figure. And ultimately, when it comes to this line, I just need him to look really good, and he looks really good. The blue is nice, it's consistent, because we do have variations between paint and molded plastic. The sleeves are painted because they're part of the arm, and the torso is molded plastic, but that looks really consistent. The same with the plastic for the arms versus the face, because the face is painted and the arms are molded plastic. So he gives off, obviously, a very Simpsons vibe. He's got his, sort of telltale MOE hunch because he, of course, has terrible posture, just like everything else that's wrong with him in his life. But he is a pretty basic figure, and I'm not really saying that to try to knock it. It just sort of is what it is. There's not a lot to really talk about here. I think they got the visuals right, especially from the neck down. He just looks like a boring old dude. And then we've got the head sculpt, and this is one of 3 that we get with this figure. This is your sort of standard head sculpt, and I really, really like it because, I mean, it's a Simpsons character, so of course they have some sort of weird head, and MOE has just this almost like Neanderthal style head where he's got that crazy, crazy long eyebrow ridge, and of course the huge upper lip, and I think they really got, in particular, I think they really got his profile done really nicely. The color, again, really consistent between the arms and the face. The eyes are nice and bright, and they, of course, got that hair sculpt, which looks really good. He's got that sort of like puffy cloud gray hair going on. So while there's not a lot to talk about in the visuals department, I think there is quite a bit that's going on here because they really got him right in the sense that he's kind of a mundane-looking guy, and that translates into a figure pretty well here. Now, as far as some size comparisons go, we've got some other Ultimates here. We've got Lion-O, and we've got Deep Space Homer, and these two are the ones that matter the most because, you know, the Simpsons stuff is going to scale to the Simpsons. Mo is not going to scale with Lion-O. He should not be as tall as Lion-O. Obviously, that's not the situation here, but this gives you an idea of exactly how big of a figure this is. So the Simpsons figures, in general, are going to be on the larger side, and he does scale up pretty nice to Homer. Homer is, of course, bigger, and he's always going to be a little bit bigger, but I think Mo looks pretty solid here. And let's do, of course, you know, a couple other lines to sort of demonstrate what we're working with. So here is a NECA figure. Here is Warduke from Dungeons & Dragons. And here's a Marvel Legends figure. Here is Blue Marvel. Now let's take him aside. Here's a Figuarts. Here is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, because he never seems to leave my side. And then let's take him aside and do one more. Here is a Mythic Legion. So here is Arethyr, and you can see, I mean, Mo is pretty tall. He's a larger scale figure for sure. Gonna fit within the Simpsons pretty well, but I don't exactly know how much you're gonna be able to sort of fudge him into other lines without him looking, well, extremely huge. I think for me in particular, he's just gonna stay among other Simpsons figures. Now, as far as accessories goes, Mo gets a decent amount of stuff. He gets actually quite a bit. It's maybe not as much in terms of piece count as some others, but he has a couple big things, as you can see right here. Again, this is a huge focus for me with this line because there's just so much stuff in The Simpsons that is ripe for the picking, that can be used as accessories, that is all very specific to characters throughout the series history, and Mo does get a bunch of stuff like that. Now to start with, we do get some extra hands. You get a set of pointing finger hands. He comes with gripping hands on him in the box. You get another set of gripping hands that are also sort of style posy. They're used for different things, really, different types of accessories. And then you get a set of fists as well. Now, of course, we also get some heads. He's got his stoic, normal head on him in the box. We get a couple of very expressive heads. This is like the super cheesy, you know, painful smile that Mo has. This one reminds me of the episode where he turns the bar into, you know, like the family restaurant, and he's got like the basket of fries like boiling on his head, and he hates smiling and it hurts him, but this is a very classic Mo look. So I do really like this one. My favorite head sculpt, though, is, of course, Mo screaming his head off. You've got the teeth, the tongue, the whole deal. He's super angry. This one is just terrific. I really like this head sculpt. A lot of detail, a lot of expression here, and that's the big component for me. So some really solid heads. We get his rag, the self-proclaimed stinkiest rag in America. We get a flaming Mo. I'm surprised we aren't getting beer with this, but there's also the prospect of the fact of who owns The Simpsons now and licensing, so I'm not too surprised, but I'm sort of surprised. So we get a flaming Mo, so you get the Stein with the purple goop in there, and then of course you get like a flame effect. We get his phone, so the red phone. It's got a very flexible cord. He can hold this pretty well, and you can get it up to his head. You just got to sort of work at it because of those single elbows. But you've got your phone, obviously another classic Mo thing. We get probably one of my favorite accessories in the whole figure is the jar of pickled eggs, just because it's another ever-present thing, but it's a very Mo thing. So you get this sort of nasty-looking translucent jar with the eggs in there. And then one of the more deep cut, maybe it's not a deep cut thing, but it's a more specific thing than a just generic, it's always in the bar thing. So you get one of the pandas that Mo smuggles, and you get one of the crates too. And I will point out that the characters on the side, I have no idea if they say anything at all or what they say, if they are legitimate, characters. This is pretty close, if not identical, to what actually appears in the show. So you get this crate, and this, I suspect I'm going to be using it as some sort of like bar top for now, because I'm not going to do any kind of crazy dio or anything like this. But this will work, and it's actually pretty good height for him. So you've got that, and of course we actually get one of the pandas. And these things are articulated too. So you've got one of these. This is basically how it looks when it emerges from the crate as he tries to shoo them all out of the bar. So you've got a swiveling head and you've got swiveling legs. Nothing crazy. It's, you know, not a slug figure, but it has a little bit of articulation, and it's really big too. I mean, this thing is about half the height of Mo and probably weighs just as much. It's a chunky, weird, goofy looking panda bear. So I do really like that. It's getting that sort of deep cut stuff is what I'm really interested in. I like all of these very, you know, very core Mo things, the flaming Mo, the phone, the pickled eggs, but getting stuff like this just adds another layer of fun to me. So this is a really cool amount of accessories. Again, this head sculpt is just tremendous. It's probably always going to be on him for me, but a lot of fun options with this guy. I will have to mention though, we are missing something, and this is the thing that sort of caught a bunch of people's attention. Unfortunately, we don't have his apron. You know, Mo almost always has his apron on. It was left out of the box or some sort of mishap. Super7 has already confirmed if you have Mo, you're going to get your apron no matter how you got the figure from them or from a retailer. Just sort of like the Thundercats booster pack situation we had a while back. So he doesn't come with it. It's unfortunate because, you know, I really would like to have it on there all the time, essentially. But we are going to get it, and then our figure will be complete. So not the happiest of situations, but they're going to fix it for us, and all will be well. But otherwise, he does come with a really solid array of stuff. So yeah, overall, really happy with Mo. I think for the most part, they nailed him in just about every respect. Of course, I will mention again the fact it is unfortunate that we did not get the apron with this figure, but they're going to fix that. So once I have it, I won't really care anymore. It is an unfortunate mistake. That shouldn't have happened in the first place, though. But he looks good. He moves pretty well. I mean, he's a standard human in the Simpsons world, so he doesn't necessarily need to be super dynamic, and he's definitely not. But he looks great. And he comes with some really, really solid accessories. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that definitely fits Mo in particular, and they went with some normal stuff, and of course some deep cut stuff, and some stuff that you're definitely going to remember if you've watched The Simpsons for any length of time. So that's, again, one of my areas of focus here is just to get some really crazy accessories that definitely highlight some of the key moments for these particular characters, and things like the flaming Mo, the panda, all that kind of stuff really hammers that home. So that's going to do it for this look at the Super7 Ultimates Simpsons Wave 1 Mo. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.